This is day 1 of Zero to Python, and today we are going to install Python. I'll give you a quick explanation of why Python is a useful language and why I'm teaching you this. Python is a very useful language. It's a general purpose language, and it's become very popular for a lot of different areas. One thing that Python is, very popularly used for is web development. It's gotten popular in data science and AI and machine learning, those kind of things. But Python is just a really nice language, which is why it's kind of taken over. It's one of the most popular languages in the world, but it's also very well structured and easy to understand. This becomes a very good place to start as a programmer. When I started as a programmer, I learned C. It was way harder and way worse, and it took me a long time. But if Python had been around, 20, 30 years ago when I was getting started, it'd be a different story. I probably would have started with Python. So that's why we're learning with Python. That's why we're doing it this way. If you learn Python, there are jobs available for people who are good at Python. A lot of major companies are using it now. And so it's a good language to learn from the sort of fun perspective. It's good from the useful perspective. And it's also good from a career and job perspective. So between all of those, you have a lot that you can get out of just from learning Python. All right, so hopefully that establishes the value of Python for you. And now let's get into installing Python.
All right, we are going to get Python installed. So we are here at python.org, the official site for Python. Go to downloads. The current version is Python 3.11.0 for Mac OS. That is the current version as of this time. Certainly that could change by the time you are watching this. So whatever the current version is, click here. It does the download. All right, so Python is downloaded. I am running the installer. Click continue, agree to all the things. So we are installing. That is working. Okay, Python is installed. So let's test it out and see if it works. This is called a terminal window. It is on Mac, the program terminal. On Windows, it would be called PowerShell. On Linux, it's going to be called different things depending on what version of Linux you're using. This is a command line interface. It allows you to run commands like the Python 3 command. We are actually creating a command line application. So our application is something that runs on the command line. Command line programming is very fundamental to programming in general. You will find yourself using a lot of command line programs. So if this is something new to you, you will definitely want to become more familiar with it. All right, let's run the Python 3 command. And if you look at it, it says Python 3.11.0. That is the version that we just installed. That is great. So that means that Python is running. It's installed, it's verified. So the Python 3 command is the command you use to actually run Python. You can also get the version number by typing Python 3 -- version. And that works. So that shows that Python 3 is installed. That is what we wanted to accomplish today. So next up is your assignment.
All right, and now for your assignment. The assignment today is very simple. Go and get Python installed on your computer, and then verify that it is running on the command line. Now, the places where I've seen some people struggle with this is all the instructions I gave you work well on a Mac. On Windows or Linux, the installation might be a little bit different. Also, the commands on the command line might be slightly different. For example, on Windows, the Python installer will install the py command, py, which will essentially alias to the Python 3 command for you automatically. This is a useful feature and something that you'll kind of just need to understand is a little bit different throughout this course. That on Windows, you might have to run via the py command. On other systems, you might be running via the Python 3 command. I will simply standardize around the Python 3 command, but that is something for you to know as you go. The other thing to do is definitely take time to look into the documentation, play around a little bit, and just get to know Python a little bit better. And then we'll see you tomorrow for the next lesson.